Hello, I'm so glad you're stopping in. Today in your Kiss from Kristin, I want to talk with you about some benefits for meal planning and why maybe it's something that now's the time that you want to consider doing some meal planning. And I'm also going to share with you the exact 5-step simple plan that I use month after month after month for meal planning, because I like to keep it super simple. I'm Kristin Wood, your favorite body wellness coach, and I get to work with women to help them take the struggle out of their weight loss. And oftentimes it's just a little shift. It doesn't have to be this big, scary, ugly thing that has to change. It can just be a little shift that changes the direction, gets the ball moving, and then all of a sudden things get simpler. And maybe meal planning is the thing that you've been needing. Maybe it's the thing that is the simple piece you can implement and start to see a change. So why would you even want to consider? What do you gain from meal planning? Well, in no particular order, but for me, time is a big thing. Getting back my time. I felt like, in the times when I decide maybe I don't need a meal plan and I take a break, I always feel like I'm just spinning my wheels. When I'm faced with the question about what's for dinner, if I don't have a plan, then it just seems like that takes forever to come up with a plan. And when it's taking too long, that's when we can tend to make some poor choices. So saving time is big for me. Saving money. You can save money by knowing what it is that you need at the grocery store. You're not buying produce that you don't ever get around to using and then you throw it away. Everything you purchase, you have a plan for and you get to use it. It's also going to save you money on maybe not going out to eat as frequent. Doesn't mean you never get to go out to eat, but maybe if you have a plan, you just don't do it as frequently. It's going to save you unwanted calories. You know, when you are going through the cabinets, trying to figure out what have I got, what can I build with what I've got here. Sometimes you decide to start grazing. You know, you'll have a little bite of this and a little bite of that. And before long, you're not really even super hungry anymore because you've nibbled on enough stuff. But you've still got to cook dinner for the rest of the family. So you go ahead and cook it, and then you've cooked it. So you go ahead and eat it. And it's just a cycle of calories that you don't need. Also, if you're going out to eat all the time, that's a good way that you're taking in calories that you probably wouldn't if you followed your meal plan. Now, you're also going to get to add variety. You know, if you ever feel like your family is stuck in the same 4 or 5 meals, with a meal plan, you get to add variety because your body does like variety. And another thing that gets to happen is you get to reduce your decision fatigue. You make so many decisions all day long. If you have one that is just done, I promise you are going to be happy that this is one that's just done. So let's talk about how to do it. You know, let me give you this 5-step plan. The first step, it's the longest, but you're really going to be one and done. You do it one time and it's done. You may add to it, but basically the bulk of your time is doing this once. And this first step is doing a massive brain dump of recipes. Just writing down all the meals that you can make, all the meals that you like, all the meals that people in your home like. Think about casseroles. maybe crock pot meals or Instapot or air fryer meals, meals that you make on the grill, quick meals like sandwich type things, maybe breakfast for dinner kind of meals. Just everything you can think of. Go with all kinds of categories. Pull out the old cookbooks and find something that was a favorite that you've forgotten about. And just massive brain dump. And I think you're going to be surprised that those 4 or 5 meals that you've been rotating week after week after week, maybe now you've got 30 or 40 options. I know when I did this for the first time, I was like, why are we eating the same thing? We could go a month, even 2 months without ever having the same meal twice and be happy. I mean, if you had to eat tacos 5 nights in a row, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but that might be when you look at the calendar and you're like, oh, tacos again. But when you've got something different every night, it's not going to be a struggle. You're going to be okay with whatever's there. Now, step 2 is taking this brain dump of meals that you've got, and I want you to categorize them. I do this by breaking them up based on the main protein in the meal. You may or may not want to divide yours up that same way, but I don't want to have beef every night. So if I break it up, then we can have beef one night, we can have pork one night, we can have chicken one night, we can have fish one night. And if you're not an animal protein person, then you break it up however feels right for you. Now, step 3, after you've got it broken out, you're going to want to go back and make some notes on time. Time is what we're looking for here. What's the prep time? The time from start to table. What kind of time is involved in completing this meal? And it doesn't have to be exact. You know, you're just doing a ballpark. Is this a 5-minute meal? Is this a 3-hour meal? Is this a meal that's in the crock pot and it takes all day? You know, give yourself an idea so that when you are glancing at this list, you can quickly tell, is this a quick meal or do I need more time? Now, once you've got your meals, you've got them broken out in categories, you've got times associated with them, you're going to be ready for step 4. And step 4 is about pulling out your calendar. And hopefully you have a calendar that syncs with everybody's schedules. You know if you've got kids in the home, what activities they've got to be doing, what activities your partner's doing, everything's all together, so you know what you've got planned night to night. And once you've got that calendar, you're going to look at your list of meals and pick the meals that fit the timing that you have for that evening. So if it's a super busy evening, you may want either some kind of a sandwich meal, or maybe you want something that's in a crock pot so it's done when you walk in the door. Or maybe a couple nights before you want to make something in an extra big batch so you've got leftovers, and that busy night is just a leftover night. When you've got it all sitting in front of you in a calendar, you can start seeing what's going to work best for your family. And then step 5, you get to make your grocery list. You now know what you're going to be eating for the week. You can schedule it out a week, 2 weeks, a month at a time. You can see what you need at the store. You can make a grocery list so you're just getting the things that you need. You're not buying things that you don't need and wasting them. So the grocery list simplifying, once you've got that grocery list and you know what you need, it makes online ordering so much easier. So then you're not making all the little extra things that are costing you money and you really don't need. So It simplifies what you're spending your money on at the grocery store. Now, let's say Tuesday rolls around and you're not really excited about what's on the menu for Tuesday. You get to change it. You can shop at the grocery store a week at a time, so you've got items at home, so you can rotate. If you don't like what's on the calendar for that day, change it up. It's not set in stone. You get to make it fit your world, however you have to go about that. So I hope you got some value out of this. I hope you consider doing some meal planning when you are trying to lose weight and you're trying to pay attention to the meals, pay attention to the combination, the vegetable to protein to carbohydrate ratio, or if you're following a particular plan and you're trying to go low carb or fat free or no sugar, whatever plan you are trying to follow, it makes it so much easier when you have a plan of what's going to be on the calendar that day. And when you're trying to lose weight and you're paying attention to your meals, when you know the recipe that you're going to be using, you can start thinking ahead of time about how am I going to modify this so that it fits what I'm trying to do in my life. So let me know, are you going to give it a try? I want to know how it goes for you. So leave me a comment and let me know. And I will see you next week with another Kiss from Kristin. Bye-bye.